Hello, everyone. Again. Good time zone, good time zones. I hope you're all doing well. I'm adjusting volume. Congrats on first, Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the quiet hello and your daily fish. Please remember to stay hydrated. Hi, Nene. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for quiet hello and daily fish as well. Make sure you also stay hydrated. Go ahead and pin this. For the second part of Pride today, we will be hanging out with the lovely Mickey, he, they pronouns. Oh my god, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. That was so loud in my ear for some reason. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. We're going to be hanging out with Mickey, he, they pronouns today, and just chatting and vibing. And we also have a multi-stream link if you would like to watch both streams at once. It does have both streams and then both chats underneath it. If anybody is interested in that, and I'm also going to give a fancy shout out. So y'all can go and follow my lovely collaborator of the evening. Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we're ready. I think we probably are. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. As always, let me know how volume is. If I need to adjust anything, let me know. Hello. Again.
Hello, friend.
Hello. Oh, you're a potato.
Yeah, my chat decided to make me a potato 2
I
minutes
love
into
potato
stream because
time.
just a floating potato in the void.
We love potato time. That's great.
Yeah. I figure we'll just kind of chat for however long you want to. I tend to go for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, but I won't hold you hostage for that entire time.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do 8 hours. I did 5 earlier, so I don't know if I can do another 8.
Yeah, I won't hold you hostage for that entire time. Whenever you start to peter out, I will cut you loose and let you go get your post stream self care and stuff like that.
Sure, I appreciate it. Would you like to introduce yourself? I know your stream knows you, but for my stream.
Yeah, hello. My name is Music Kid. I'm a trans, queer, Chinese full-time content creator. I stream on Twitch 4 nights a week. I post on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel. I've been in content for 11 years this year. This year is
Wow.
7 years that I've been doing this. I've been doing it full time for 5, but I've been making content for 11 years this year, which is
Wow,
really wild to think about.
congratulations.
Thank you. I celebrate being an affiliate for 8 years in September.
Wow.
Like at some point in September. I like long walks on the beach, even though I live nowhere near beaches, and being a silly, goofy guy.
I love that. Wow, 11 years. That is quite a feat.
Yeah, I started when I was in college because an ex of mine was like, "You're really charismatic. You'd be really good at being on Twitch. You should do that." Because she loved a Twitch streamer who's now a partner. I remember when he got partner, we were all so super hyped for him. But she was like, "If you can do what Zach, you can do what Zach does. Zach has a really good personality, and so do you. You should do what he does."
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you're obviously doing great if you're going for this long still.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. Like this is a very fun job to have.
I agree.
I'm blessed every day that I get to call this my full-time job.
Yeah. Yay. I love that so much.
Do you have a preference on what I call you? I've just been calling you Envy. But if you have a preference, I can
Cafe's
change it.
fine, but I mean, NB's fine too. It doesn't really bother me either way.
I guess I should ask you to introduce yourself to my kiddos as well.
Oh yes. Hello, kiddos. I'm Cafe. Hello. I am a queer, non-binary, disabled, autistic variety full-time streamer. I've been creating content for about 3.5 years, going on 4. And it's definitely the most accessible form of work for me, being disabled and such. And yeah, I tend to do low energy, comfy like vibes for people to coexist, to play a lot of comfy games. And also a lot of activism and stuff. I try to be very outspoken and use my platform for spreading as much information, education, and stuff as I can. That type of stuff. But it's nice to meet you all.
Yeah, like I said, it's very nice to finally put a face to the name. Like we've been Twitter mutuals
Yeah.
for however long. I think we met through B, I want to say.
Probably. I've met a lot of people through B, so probably, yeah.
I was just made aware that my Fuji tech is still me flipping you off. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna flip that
No,
to a
it's
different thing.
great. I love it.
My girlfriend texts me. She's like, "Should your Fuji tech still be that? I think you should."
That's so funny. I honestly didn't even notice. Nice to meet you as well. Is it Stirk or Styric? Please let me know pronunciation. I'm not great with pronunciation. But please feel free to correct me. But it's nice to meet you as well. Thank you for hopping in. From our lovely guest. Or well, I guess I'm technically guest on your side, so.
There we go. Now it's with a little heart. Looks a little more
Oh, that's
professional.
so cute. I love the heart.
Yeah, my girlfriend's high school best friend does all my emotes, and that was one of the ones I just got her to finish up for me.
It looks so great.
She does a great job. I adore her. Cricket does amazing work. I'm so glad that I got a chance to work with her on all of my emotes, honestly.
I'm gonna go look at all of them now.
I
love
need to
emotes.
get that emote feature panel thing that Twitch has.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I don't use that one, and I really should, especially with how many good ones I have now.
So basically how these things have been going so far is there's not really like a clear-cut type of conversation layout that we're doing. It's more like whatever comes up, comes up. If there's anything particular you'd like to like discuss, anything about your identities, experiences, what you like best about Pride, what you don't like about Pride, any of that kind of stuff is all up for grabs. You can lead the discussion as much as you want.
My chat had a good question. What's the best part of being a queer creator for you? And then I'll answer after you get a chance to speak.
Oh, Okay, the best part of being a queer creator, I think, definitely being able to find, you know, similar community. And I also really love helping other people feel more comfortable being themselves. I've had multiple people over the years state that they have been able to like find themselves and feel more comfortable in their identity and being openly whatever their identity is because of being in the space. So I think that's probably my favorite part.
For me, it's been getting to be queer in the space in general. When I first, like, I started Twitch in 2011, 2012, back when it was Justin TV. There weren't many queer people on the platform. I think there wasn't any queer people on the platform at all until I Am Brandon in 2013 or 14 when he started. Um, so it's, to me, it's just been a part of being, I don't want to say the forefront because I'm definitely still a smaller creator, but I want to say like one of the first couple voices for queer people on Twitch, and getting to see like the evolution of how queer people on Twitch have come to find themselves more than anything else.
That's amazing. Thank you for being
It's
one of the
definitely been a
first ones.
change of pace. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's been it's been a lot to be queer on the platform, like especially in the past couple of years, as you know, Kick and stuff like that has taken off, and the
Yeah.
hate groups have gotten more platforming than they used to have on these spaces. But it's been a good journey, and a journey that I'm glad that I got to take.
Yeah, the hate has definitely gotten a lot more loud, but we can be louder, so.
Another question from my chat: how has being queer influenced or guided your streaming journey?
Ooh. Hmm.
It's gotten me a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten. I hate to be one of those like I pulled the queer card and it got me an opportunity, but it's definitely helped me find the people that I've, you know, become friends with and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
gotten my foot in the door with a lot of good groups and a lot of good people, and helped me really find the center of what I wanted my content to be, honestly. I wasn't out when I first started on Twitch. I came out about 5 years into my journey on Twitch in 2018 when I started doing this full time. And it's been a roller coaster of emotions getting to this point from there.
Mm. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. It is, I feel like difficult to really, I lost my complete sentence. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I have this fun thing where my brain just fogs up and I forget what I was saying.
I get that. Mine does the same thing.
What was the question that you had asked before?
How has being queer influenced or guided your streaming journey?
Influenced or guided, right? Um, I feel like probably pretty similar. I mean, a lot of opportunities that I've gotten have been due to my identities. Not that that's like a bad thing, as you said. But I definitely feel like I've been able to find most people through being queer, and kind of grow a lot because of the queer community, which I'm very thankful for.
On that note, how have you found like meeting other queer people on Twitch? Because for me, it was a hard start trying to get anybody to talk about being queer on Twitch, let alone like identifying that way. And then, you know, as the platform grew and more people came on, it was like, oh, more and more people are okay with identifying as queer and being like, yes, I am, you know, XYZ identity, and I have that kind of, you know, space that I want to take up. How has it been more for you since you've joined a little more more recently in this space, finding, you know, your own home in the streaming sphere.
Yeah, I definitely think I have been a lot luckier in that respect, because there are so many openly queer and trans individuals now in the streaming space. So I feel like I've gotten a bit luckier in that. The first year that I was streaming, I had a really hard time like connecting with anybody and like, you know, quote unquote networking and stuff as I was figuring out, you know, how to do everything really. But I do think I had an easier time finding a lot of openly queer creators. Um, so I feel like I haven't really had that much difficulty, to be honest.
I found all of the queer people that I follow on Twitter. I did not find a single queer person on Twitch just by like
Really?
wandering around Twitch trying to find people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, so you got to remember in 2013 when this had just turned into Twitch TV, before it even became Twitch.tv, when it was just twitchtv.com. A lot of people were still hiding who they were because they were afraid of like what the rest of the community was going to be like.
Right.
So up until streamer Twitter like really took off, there wasn't really a way for me to meet other streamers than just popping in a chat and being like, "Hi, I hope you're gay." Um, but it's definitely been a lot nicer to have Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all these places now more molded for the streamer space to be like, "Hi, I am queer. Are you also queer? Cool. Now we are friends. I'd like to check out your content." Instead of just being like, "I'm going to check out this person's content and hope that they're remotely okay with who I am as a person. And if they're not, oops, I just spent years forming friendships that, you know, are now
Right.
under the water."
Yeah, I definitely do think that, you know, streamer Twitter is a great tool to find most people. I feel like I have half and half, where I find like half of the people that I've known from Twitter and then the other half from Twitch. I will say after they added the tags, like the tagging system in, it was a lot easier because you could go and search the LGBT tags and stuff like that. But Twitter is definitely like
Yeah.
the way to go with
The new
discoverability, I feel.
made it so much easier. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yeah.
I I celebrated when I saw that they finally did that.
Me
Like,
too.
was it was it the bare minimum that we were asking for?
I
Yes.
mean,
But it
yeah.
was the bare minimum that we got.
Did
So
we
you
still
know
not
what?
have inlaid pronouns in chat? We have to use an extension, sure, but at least we have tags, I guess.
We do have the tags.
We do have
Exactly.
tags. I have a question. Do you find that speaking out about issues outside the queer community is harder, being marginalized in that way?
As a brown person, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much that I'm queer, because I think a lot of people, at least in my personal life, like outside of Twitch, um, I've known for 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 years, who are like, yeah, okay, he's trans, that's cool. Um, but it as a brown person as well, I feel like people tend to discredit a lot of what I say because they're like, well, your experiences have also been altered because you're brown. So is your experience as a queer person, we can't relate to that as much, which is daunting to think about, honestly. But it's something that I've been trying to bring up more often, is that, you know, the brown trans community, the brown queer community as a whole, are, you know, still trying to have these conversations, still trying to open up these spaces, still trying to be the people that we are and get the same amount of recognition. Not to say that we are looked down on more. In a way we
Mm-hmm.
are, but it's like the space as a whole is recognized more for the white queers than anything else, voice wise.
Yes, that is definitely an issue that severely needs fixed. Um, yeah, I absolutely agree. Um, I feel like it's not, you know, as hard on me. I do have a lot of white privilege that I try to use to uplift and you know, boost non-white voices, because I do think that is very, very important. Because it's less of a like fear for me to have to worry about anything based on my skin color. Like, sure, I'm still marginalized because I am queer and I'm trans and I'm disabled, but I'm still white first.
Exactly, and that's the kind of view that I wish more people would take. Is
Agree.
because there's a lot of queer people in the space who are like, well, I'm queer, so automatically that's enough for me to have, you know, the overwhelming voice is just the fact that I'm queer. They overlook so many other, like, you know, features and things like that about other people, and it's just confusing. And I never really know how to like bring up the topic of, well, yes, you're queer, but also you have to consider your disabled counterparts, your brown counterparts, your you know, indigenous counterparts, all of these other people that are having the same opinion as you or have a differing opinion than you that needs to be heard as well as yours, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Another question from my chat. With Twitter and X going downhill, what's your plan for spreading out your social media presence to continue to try and reach an audience or find collaborators?
Oh geez. Well, I have everything reserved that way in case anything does happen. I am on Blue Sky, which is not super active, I've noticed so far. I have Threads, but Meta has been really going downhill as well with Instagram and that, so I really have no idea. I'm also on Tumblr. I have a co-host account. I don't even know. I mean, I guess I would just deal with it, you know?
I don't really have a plan. Yeah, my entire plan was Twitter and TikTok, and with the
Yeah.
going through on TikTok and Muskrat drowning Twitter,
Oh god, yeah.
I am kind of just like hands up in the air, going, "Oh God, hopefully this works out."
I guess this is it. I don't know. I don't really know what
This
I'll
is a
do.
sinking ship.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to rely more on Twitch and pray to God that they fix their discoverability. Like
Something. I'm like just fingers
anything.
crossed. I have another question in chat. Who are some of your inspirations in the LGBTQIA plus community, or who are some other queer trans streamers that you enjoy watching?
I don't have many queer. This is gonna sound really bad. I don't have many queer streamers that I watch that I would consider like an inspiration. But I do enjoy Pixel Kitten. She's a, if you don't know who she is, they are a CBD streamer, autistic, ADHD, uh, asexual, pansexual, I think is what they said. But they're a good friend of mine. I absolutely adore her. And then, you know, Queerly B is another one that I absolutely adore watching. B is such a wonderful soul. I truly adore everything that they do for, you know, reaching out into the communities and branching us all together and everything like that. Like I wouldn't have met half of the queer people I know in the streaming space without B just being the wonderful human that they are. As far as just like inspirations in the community, I'd have to say this is gonna sound cliche, but Eugene Liang, because he was the first out Asian queer I'd ever seen. As weird as that sounds, I have never seen an Asian queer be as open about their identity as Eugene's been, and as a small, scared Chinese boy who was really worried about how the world was going to take me, seeing Eugene get so much love for coming out and being who he is just really got me thinking about how much more I could be open about who I am if that's the way that he was received. And he's got, you know, millions and millions and millions of people watching him on a daily basis. What I could do as, you know, the content creator that I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him.
He's great.
Absolutely adore.
Absolutely adorable.
For me, definitely B as well. I adore B, Queerly B. I also really adore Meow, who is another queer Asian streamer. Does a lot of co-working and has very important chats surrounding you know, obviously queer trans rights, as well as the ongoing genocides and stuff like that. Is very good and vocal about that. Sheeler is another one that I really love to watch and look up to. a Black queer creator. Also does a lot of co-working, and is outspoken as well. Trying to think of more off the top of my head. I watch so many, to be honest.
Another big one for me is I Am Brandon, again because he was the first big non-white queer streamer on Twitch. Like he was the first non-white partner on Twitch. I don't know if you knew that or not, but one of the
I
first
did,
was
yes.
him.
Mm-hmm.
And for a non-white queer person to have been made partner on Twitch that early on in its longevity of a platform, I heralded him for such a long time. I adore him. I've got to meet him recently. Fantastic person, just a sweetheart.
Oh, I'm so glad you got to meet him.
I worked with him for a charity event that I was planning on doing this summer before I had to cancel it for
I see.
a multitude of reasons. But
Mhm.
he's a wonderful human being, like just an absolute pure soul. You can tell that he loves what he does.
Mhm.
But just someone to look up to for sure, because again, the first queer Black person to be partnered on Twitch, that's such a milestone in and of
Absolutely.
itself for him.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Sorry, my chat was in a ad break, so I was
That's
letting
okay.
it kind of roll.
No worries.
Chat question: are there any ideas, any identities that you wish you could see more representation for?
More representation. I definitely think we always need more representation for anyone in the ace umbrella. So asexual, aromantic, demisexual, that type of vibe, because there is always, like, every single pride, people are trying to, you know, erase these identities or say that they're less than, or like, you don't belong in pride or whatever. When that's literally the A. The A is for
Yeah,
ace. It's not for ally. As much as quote unquote allies want to think it is them, it's not. It's ace, and it's always been that way. And the bi
I agree
erasure.
with
Oh yeah, the bi erasure. I
Soju,
hate.
the bi rager. Yeah,
Yep.
I absolutely hate that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say bi, pan, and the ace umbrella for sure.
Yeah, my answer would have been the ace umbrella as well, just because as someone who's demi, it's like I
Me
never really,
too.
especially demi. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there are more and more ace people who are coming out more to talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
like demi people are. I don't know if it's just like a fear that we all have that we're just gonna get written off, but for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely like that fear of people going, oh well, that's just human nature is to not want to be with somebody until you've
Oh
known them for a long
God,
time. Like
I know.
I said that to somebody once. I was like, I'm demisexual. And they were like, what does that mean? So I explained it. They were like, that's just human nature. You don't want to,
No,
be with
it's
somebody you don't know. And I'm like, it's more than just that.
mm-hmm. It is more than just that. It's so weird because everybody wants to just write it off as being human nature and not try to even bother like understanding or doing their own research on like the identity itself.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like pride to me is a lot of exhaustion on top of being a celebration because
Yes.
it's always people going, can you explain this? Can you talk about this? Can you come do this panel about this, this, and this? And I'm just like, it's emotional labor to talk a lot about things
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people could just Google. And like as
Yes.
awful as that sounds, and I hate being that guy that just like fucking Google it. There's a lot of questions that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying about today, but like in other panels that I've done in the past prides, it's like you could have Googled that. You didn't need to
Yeah.
come and ask 6 queer people this question. You could have very
Mm-hmm.
easily just Googled it. You don't need to make us do the emotional labor of explaining this to you. Like,
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. Even though I try to be more understanding, since Google as well is hit so hard with like AI generated answers and stuff anymore. So I try to be a little bit more understanding, but there is more on like the individual person to just try and find the answer online before you ask all of us.
yeah,
Because I see
exactly.
queer creators get just bombarded with basic questions like, what's non-binary? What do you mean?
Right, like,
You can't answer
what do
that?
you explain? You can't figure that one out. You can't put 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah. Or go to the go to the library or something. Doesn't have to
Lord,
just be
yeah.
Google. Like, you know, read a book. There's so many books on all different queer identities.
Another chat question for mine. Do you
Mm.
play any queer games on stream, or do you plan to play any queer games on stream? I personally haven't. I'd like to. I play Hades a lot, which isn't exactly a queer game, but it's
It's
queer coded.
basically queer.
It might as well be queer.
It might as well be, yeah.
But that's the most that I've ended up playing. I need to play like Life is Strange and stuff like that, but those games are unfortunately it's come to the point where the queer games in the industry are always like heavy hitting and like super draining to play emotionally.
Yes.
And like I never have the spoons to play those kinds of games, but I
Yep.
want to so badly like explore queer games on stream, but it's always like either somebody dies or somebody has, you know, a rough family life that ends up getting super triggering, or you know, there's a suicide or something like that, and I'm just like, I don't want to drag that into my streaming space. I'm trying to make this a warm and welcome place. I don't want people to have to come in and be like, oh my god, that's so fucking awful. What a game. What a way to play the game.
It is very unfortunate that there's such a lack of like just queer and trans joy in games. It always has to be some like traumatic event happening. We can't just have people be happy and be gay. They have to have like just lost their partner or something.
Yeah.
As for queer games I've played on stream, I have played oh, why can't I remember the name of the game? That's from the same like company as Life is Strange. I've played Life is Strange, but not on stream before I started streaming. What is that game?
Was it True Colors?
No.
One with the trans guy?
No. It was. I'm looking for the game now. I can't remember the name of it. While I'm looking, I will name other ones. I have played. I don't know if it doesn't count as necessarily like just queer, but I've played, you know, like farming sims like Coral Island and such with stuff which has like really good queer representation in it. Same with like Moonstone Island. Wildflowers has really good queer representation as well. But again, those aren't like inherently queer. They are like queer adjacent, I would say, because you can choose whether or not you're going to be like queer in them. What is that game?
My chat's recommending a game called Gone Home. It's queer, but isn't as rough as some of the other games that have been out there.
Gone Home. I think I've played that one. Gone Home game. I have played that one. It is very good. I didn't play it on stream either, but it is very good. I would recommend that one.
Heard. I also don't really play very many story games in general. I spend a lot of my time playing shooters, which
yeah, that's fair.
Is a rough time to be a queer person in as well. Like my main game is Valorant, and I don't know how much you know about. I mean, you play Valorant as well. You've experienced it probably, but oh lord, just the experiences alone playing that game, especially with Clove now being out, have gotten not so fun. But I can't put the game down. It's my parasite game, as my chat likes to call it.
No, that's valid, honestly. Oh,
it's actually probably what I'll end up playing.
That's fair. I figured out the name of that game. It's Tell Me Why.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Yes, the main character is trans. It is very queer. It is very good. But it does have, like Life is Strange does, it has like hard-hitting content in it, so. It is also free right now. that's true. It is free for Pride Month. So if you do want to grab it, just in case you ever want to play it, it is free right now.
I think I have it already. That sounds like something I have. I feel
I
like
think
I
it
picked
was
it
free
up
last year
Pride.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I picked it up last Pride.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I have it in my library. Um, what streaming or life advice would you give to other LGBTQIA gamers who would like to start their streaming journey?
Ooh. Oh.
That's a tough one, yeah.
That is. Ooh, let me think for a minute. Pink! Thank you for 5 months! What the heck? I love you so much. Oh, I have to think about this.
I think definitely the first thing I'd say is just be authentically you. There's nothing to there. I mean, there is like the bigots and things like that to fear, but at the end of the day, they're just keyboard warriors. They're not in your space personally. Just be who you are. Acknowledge that you're doing something tough, and that what you're doing should be celebrated at the end of the day for you being who you are in the spaces that would otherwise tell you not to be who you are.
I absolutely agree. Definitely, be as most I can't English. The most like unapologetically yourself as you can be, because you will absolutely find community here. And anyone that doesn't like you for whatever reason or tries to be hateful, you can just boot them out. And try not
It's
to
your space, you can curate it.
Yeah, exactly. You can curate, you can ban, block, mute, anything you need to do for your own safety and for your peace of mind. I don't know what I would add on to that. That would definitely be my thing, is to just, be yourself. I think I would also say definitely look for other queer creators and try and, hang out in their streams and see what they do. And see how their communities are and maybe kind of get like a feel for it before going into it. But like I wish I knew before, like when I started streaming, I wish I knew that I could just ban whoever off of, bad vibes or whatever. They didn't necessarily need to break some rule. If they were bringing you down, like just ban them. Because I let a lot of people get away with a lot of things that I wish I wouldn't have, because I had like no backbone, and I was like, well, at least somebody's watching stream, like no. Definitely just
yeah,
ban.
For sure. Find your peace of mind and understand that your safety and your peace is more important than anything else. Numbers don't matter. If you're not happy with the space that you've created, then nothing else matters.
Exactly. Your happiness and comfort are what matters most, because that's going to attract more people. If they see that you're happy and you're comfortable and you're like just feeling yourself in your space, then they're going to want to hang out with you.
Definitely.
And also, it's okay if you don't know 100% who you are or your identities, or if your identities shift, because identities can be very fluid and they can change. And don't be afraid to, let people know that, hey, actually, my pronouns are this now, or I actually don't really like this name I chose for myself, I'm going to switch it to this, or actually I'm a lesbian, I'm not bi anymore, or whatever, because we're all growing all the time.
We're all constantly changing.
Yeah, we're all constantly changing and growing.
Oh, that's a good one. How do you handle parasocial relationships, both yours towards your chat and vice versa?
Oh, I think it's really the most important thing, obviously, is just having boundaries, both for yourself and for, on either side of the relationship, like you said, with chat and then chat with you or people with you. Like, just have clear-cut boundaries as much as possible, and stick to them regardless of feelings and stuff like that, because it's all about keeping yourself safe and keeping your chat safe, because obviously we only know each other so much. You can't ever know anyone like 100%. So you really should try to be very careful about, for example, like celebrity worship is bad and we should not be putting all these people on pedestals, and it happens to content creators too. Nobody should be put on a pedestal. No streamer, no chatter, nothing.
I've definitely had, and I'll admit it, issues with parasocial relationships with people in my chat, just because I've gotten so close to them and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, this is a friend, and then I have to remember, no, in this instance, I have a position of power over them. I need to like back down a little bit, and like these aren't my friends. While I have made some genuine friends in the streaming space, it's definitely something that I think it's part of the autism. I have a problem like separating when someone's a friend and when someone's just like not to sound, I don't want to say ungrateful, but like just a viewer versus someone who's actually my friend.
I definitely get that as well. I feel like it definitely is a neurodivergent thing that's it makes it a lot harder, because you tend to like stick to, you know, people are nice to you and you're like, oh my gosh, that means you're my friend, and sometimes it's not that.
Sometimes that's just not it. Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on the future of queer inclusion in the gaming industry? Where do you think it's going, and where do you think it is now?
Do you want to answer first or me?
You can go first. I have to think about that one for a minute.
Okay. I think we're definitely very slowly but surely moving in like a really good direction. There are more games now that are including queer and trans representation. I mean, Valorant, for instance, a game that is so like rife with bigots, have canonically queer characters. They have a non-binary character now, and they're also like they've been working to implement better safety features, which I think is such a great step in the right direction. And a lot of games are having, you know, differing pronouns now, adding in like gender neutral options. So I think we're slowly but surely getting to a better place, but there's still like a long way to go, I think.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not in a perfect position. I don't know if it ever will be, because like perfect is such a hard thing to define.
Yeah.
But I think we're taking steps in the right direction, just based off of the, you know, like the talks that I've seen of gaming spaces being like, yes, we're gonna change the way that our game is functioning so you can have different pronouns selected now, or when you sign up for the game, you can input your own name choices, and we don't have to make you like pick between our pre-made names now. Just thinking from like the standpoint of those like softer RPG games where it used to be, showing my age here, you used to have to pick from like a list of 4 or 5 predetermined names, and now all of them are like, write in your own name. Writing your own pronouns. It's like, it's so nice to see how far gaming has come from
Absolutely,
when I
yeah.
was a kid playing, you know, Zoo Tycoon to now, and what the gaming
Yeah.
sphere has become.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be perfect. I mean, we can't really expect anything to be perfect. It's just about managing like our expectations, I feel like.
Oh, definitely, for sure. It's definitely headed in the right direction, especially like you said with Valorant in particular. The game is so well known for their more toxic community, and now they're coming out and saying, hey, we don't like this, we're trying to change the direction of our game, so we're gonna push for more inclusivity, and we're gonna do better for the community than we have been doing before. which is super, super important. Super, super nice to see bigger companies like that doing bigger things for their players.
Yes, and it's like, I don't want to give them like more credit than they deserve in saying like groundbreaking, but it is very monumental, it feels, for a game like Valorant to be doing what it's doing with the posts they made about the safety measures they're going to start taking, and also adding in queer characters, because especially in like FPS games, it tends to be very toxic. I mean, you look at Call of Duty,
It's
and
rough in these streets.
that's
Yeah, it's definitely rough in the streets.
mm-hmm.
If you could change one thing about the gaming industry for queer players, what would it be and why? I think for me, it would definitely be just the reciprocation of energy. Like, so many queer people I know put so much good and positive energy into their games that they try to play, only to be met with, you know, awful comments on their videos, or hate in the comms that they use, or that kind of stuff. I wish the reciprocation from the communities was better for all of the young queer kids out there who are just starting to get into gaming.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. I also think what I would really like to see is more varying representation within like the LGBTQIA plus. I would love to see way more representation than what we're getting in any game, because it's great to have like one or two non-binary characters, and it's great to have like a couple of gay characters, a couple of lesbians, but I would really love to see bi and pan representation, asexual umbrella representation, two-spirit representation, you know, stuff like that. Like things that we don't ever really get to see in content.
Agreed. No, definitely agreed. There could be so much more representation that we have out there.
Mm-hmm.
Not to sound ungrateful for what we have. Like, we've
Oh,
definitely come a
absolutely.
long way from when gaming first like came out in the 80s or 90s. The first video games
Yeah.
were the big thing, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely could be better.
Yeah, we can be grateful for how it's growing and also still want more, and for companies to do better by us.
This is a really good one. What do you think about queer baiting or implied games, movies, shows versus those that actually have canonical things written in stone? Is it more of like a, at least it's something to you, or is it more of a, it's 2024, we should have better kind of thought process?
It's 2024. Why are we still queer baiting only? It's like they're afraid to say, yeah, actually this character is queer. They're in a relationship. Just say it. Just make it gay. just do it.
Make it gay.
It's 2024.
No, I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have that mindset of, at least it's something, like at least we're getting a little bit of a breadcrumb, but as I've gotten older and as I've gotten, you know, more into my queer activism side, I'm like, okay, we should be doing more. We should be getting more out of the deal. Like, some of these shows and games and stuff like that are doing the bare minimum and thinking that they can get away with that because they're saying that it could be better, or that they're doing better.
Mm-hmm. I think they just got a raid. Balance the need for representation with. Ooh, I will answer that as soon as soon as Mickey's back.
Sorry, I just got raided. Give me a second.
Take your time. Hi, raiders. No, I hate queer baiting so much. Dear Lord. Please. It's so unnecessary. It's literally 2024. If y'all can't deal with having a queer character in your show, you shouldn't be writing shows. You shouldn't be making games. You shouldn't be making movies, whatever. Just make it gay. Let us have fucking representation. Get over yourselves and your bigotry. I'm begging. Hi, Rage. I hope you're doing well.
Somewhere in there, another question came through that I wanted to read, but I lost it in the raid messages. So give me a second. If there was no online hate, what kind of content would you pursue without the fear of somebody, you know, being hateful to you in your comments?
I think I would be more inclined to actually try to put in the work towards doing YouTube.
Oh, same, for sure. YouTube is such a hateful place.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't get why it is such a cesspool of just negativity.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it lacks a lot of moderation tools, and that's like the problem. There's not really a good way to moderate the space. They make it really hard to block people. They make it to where if you don't have the option on where you have to physically like approve every single comment, then you're just gonna have hate comments. And you have to deal with it, basically, is what YouTube does. Which is very unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. It's super unfortunate that that's the way that it is. And I feel like that's the only reason why YouTube's not a stronger competitor for Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are always like, oh, YouTube's gonna kill Twitch someday. They have so many better XYZs about it. But it's like, okay, but their protections are minimal. There's next to nothing you can do. The moderating in Twitch chat is so much nicer. I'm a mod for somebody on YouTube chat, and their YouTube chat is like moderation tools are just abysmal. There's nothing.
Yeah, they really I feel like before they added the streaming into YouTube, they really should have workshopped it more, because it does not seem safe at all to me personally.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, for sure. Here's a tougher one. How do you balance celebrating your identity when creating content, but also create content that appeals to a much broader audience than just the queer community? Or do you?
I don't think I do. I just kind of try to be myself, and, you know, whoever wants to consume that content can consume that content. I don't really try to... I mean, I try to be as inclusive as possible. I don't want it to get, like, that to get twisted or anything. I do try to be as inclusive as possible, but I don't necessarily feel like I should have to pander in any way, if that makes sense. Like, I just try to be me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't put out content that I think other people would like, that I'm not looking to curate my space towards. I'm not trying to reach out into the stars and grab everybody. I'm not trying to be there. Not everybody is for everybody.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
thought process on it. Not everybody will be for everybody, and not everybody should be for everybody. Because if you're for everybody, then somewhere deep in the shadows of what you've got are lurking hateful people who are just disguising themselves.
Yes. Like, we already have to struggle so much to keep our spaces safe for us in the first place. You know, I feel like we shouldn't have to try and make content for a broader audience in that kind of way, I guess. I mean, you know, whoever's hanging out is hanging out.
Right. Like, if you're gonna come hang out and you don't identify with something I identify with, that's cool. That's fine, so long as you respect it. I'm not gonna be like, get out because you don't identify the exact same way as me.
Yeah.
But I am gonna be like, so long as you're respectful of my identities, then you can stay. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Something to go along with that last one. How do you make sure everyone feels safe and inclusive in your chat? Moderation steps you take for blocking, et cetera, for against negativity in the communities.
Do you want me to wait since you just hit an ad?
Yeah, I was gonna say if we could wait just like 90 seconds for
Yeah, you're
the
good.
ad to roll.
You're good. I saw it. Oh, actually, do you want to just take a break? Do you take a break like
I
hourly or
don't. I
anything?
should get better. I should get better at doing that because I have knee problems and I should stand up and
You
like not
should.
sit. So yeah, we could take a short
Yeah,
break.
because my ads are about to run as well. So if we could just take a break, that'd be
Cool.
great.
We take a short break then.
All right. Okay, it is about ads time, so we're gonna take a little break. Hold on. I don't want to miss this question that you asked before, so I'm gonna copy it and put it in my thing so I don't forget it. All right. I will be back in a few minutes. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you all very much. Be sure to, excuse me, oh my gosh, check out Mickey as well. And here's the multi-link if anybody wants to watch both streams. If y'all are interested in that. And feel free to ask questions and stuff. We're just you know, vibing. But I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Everybody stretch, hydrate, all the good things. Oops. Count the amount of times I hit the wrong scene. I dare you. Welcome back, everybody.
Like I got back at just the right time.
Welcome back. I just got back, yeah.
At the ripe young age of 27, I've had both of my ACLs repaired and
Oh.
replaced.
Oh my goodness.
So sitting for long periods of time is something I shouldn't do, but I usually do. I need to get better about getting up and taking breaks every like hour, hour and a half.
You should set up your 3-minute ads. That's how I make myself get up and do it every hour.
That's fair. I do a minute and a half every 30 because it flows better for me, I think, but I should
Yeah, that's
probably
fair.
do the 3 on an hour. Yeah, going back to the how do we do the boundaries thing, most of my mods in chat agree with me. It's all just hard moderation, just swinging that hammer whenever and however I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the question, right? When we
left off, yeah.
basically just how we moderate and how we keep our spaces safe. That was the question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the question.
That's basically what I do too. I have Saribot in chat, which is a lifesaver, to be honest. So many things like try to come through that I don't even have to worry about because Saribot like just auto gets them. I also have shield mode. We are very loose with the band hammer. Any bad vibes, you're just out of here, you know?
Yeah. Somewhere in my rules, I think it states that my mods are allowed to do whatever they want with the hammer. If you have a bad vibe, they're gonna just get you out.
Yeah. And that's good because, you know, your mod team should know you well enough to know, like, what you would want out anyway, without even having to, like, ask you.
Oh, exactly. Like, for example, I ID in my Discord to make sure that people are 18 and over. And I haven't had to check anybody in the past year, and we've had tons of people join just because, like, they know the rules. They have the vibe check that they all do with each other on who gets to join and who doesn't, based off of, you know, did this person have an ID that was, you know, valid? Did they do the right steps for us? Did they do X, Y, Z? And it's so nice to have staff that are just an extension of me in so many ways that I don't have to think about it.
Exactly. It's like so much less stress to know that they've got your back. I did have another question if you're ready for another one.
Yeah, sure. Bring it on.
All right, I had a question. How do you balance the need for representation with the concern of appropriation when still so many Western game companies lack diversity?
Ooh, that's a tough one for me, especially. I think I look at everything with a grain of salt, to be honest. I look at it and I go, is this them trying, or is this them doing the bare minimum and making it look like they're trying? Like, we'll go back to the Valorant as an example for not queer representation, but more their diversity in cast. Like, their Chinese characters, both of them, were voiced by Chinese people, have Chinese voice lines that were written by said Chinese people. Like, it's very noticeable that Riot's making an active play towards trying to be inclusive, whereas there's games I don't really have enough. Well, I guess we could use Apex, for example, who it feels like they're doing kind of the bare minimum and hoping that people don't notice.
Right.
Like, Bloodhound, for example, just because they're non-binary, people are like, oh, Apex has a non-binary character, we're good. They're an inclusive game, but it's like a lot of their skins and a lot of their characters feel very whitewashed.
Oh,
me.
Absolutely. I agree. I used to be a big Apex player back when it like first came out, and it definitely does feel like that. They whitewash a lot.
Yeah. So to me, if you're looking at those two games as like the dichotomy of how shooters handle diversity, to me it's night and day. It's like Riot's actually actively making a conscious decision to try. With their voice actors all being from the native language speaking of whatever character they're voicing, all the way down to like their character design, and I think that's probably why they won't do skins for like the characters themselves, because that's
Mm-hmm.
such a nuanced fine line to walk. And then you've got Apex where it's like we did the bare minimum, but we're gonna disguise it that we did a lot, but we didn't really do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with what Danny said. Bangalore skins have the safe black person TM look, and it annoys them a lot, and I get that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what I have to add on that, to be honest. I try to, I mean, obviously, as I'm white, I try to do my research on like what games I pick up, especially if I'm gonna play it on stream. I want to be sure that they're respectfully and accurately representing like whatever cultures, identities, and such that they are showcasing in their games. Like with Coral Island, for example, it's an Indonesian-based game, so there's a lot of like Indonesian culture in it, and a lot of diversity. Like Stardew Valley could never type of diversity, and they feel like it's very well put together and well thought out. Like they have a really good team working on it that is, doing their best.
Yeah, my partner's super obsessed with Coral Island right
I
now.
love
It's
Coral
it's
Island.
her it's her big thing. I walk
Mm-hmm.
out into our living room and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Coral Island." I'm like, "I'm not even surprised anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good question. If you could host a charity stream supporting any queer organization, which one would you choose and what game would you play during it?
Hmm. I don't know personally because while I do like charity work and I've done charity fundraisers and stuff in the past for like Trans Lifeline, suicide prevention, mental health stuff, a bunch of other things. I really more so like doing mutual aid events as compared to charity events.
That's
So I
what I
don't
was
really
gonna say.
know.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Mutual aid, at least in this day and age, feels like you're doing more than a
Mm-hmm.
charity event. Not to discredit the big charities, like Trevor Project and Bola and stuff like that. Like they're doing good, but it's like
Yeah.
in a day and age where so many people are suffering to try to stay afloat, mutual aid feels like such a better. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
call it charity because I don't like looking at mutual aid as like a charity
Right.
case. But definitely
Absolutely.
a better way of reaching someone and helping them
Mm-hmm. It's you can see the
personally.
direct like impact that you're having
Mm-hmm,
and where
mm-hmm,
your money is going.
definitely.
Like for a fact it's going to the individual like as soon as possible. Whereas charity, you don't know when anyone's getting that money and what it's
Yeah,
going
you
to be
don't know
used
when that's going to be
towards.
impacted.
Yeah. Mutual aid and like GoFundMe's and stuff like that feel a lot more important to me. Like I
It
said,
feels more
charity,
impactful.
yeah, charity is still very important, but I think mutual aid is where it's at, especially because I see so many of I mean, just in the content creation space, so many of our fellow content creators are like constantly having to fundraise for funds to like stay housed and to get food and, stuff like that. So it's definitely more important to me to be able
Mm-hmm,
to give
mm-hmm.
funds for that and fundraise for mutual aid instead.
And as far as games go, like if I were doing a mutual aid for something, I'd just play whatever game I would normally be playing on that day. Like it's important to
Yeah.
not go out of your way to make it look like you're doing some big important thing. It's just, you got to know what your audience is into and try and draw them in to help you help them. It's not like I'm doing mutual aid for this person, so I'm specifically going to play this game, or I'm doing a charity stream for this charity, so I'm specifically going to play this game because it's, tied to that charity or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't think you should like be completely not yourself, like play a game you wouldn't even play or anything like that, just because you're doing some kind of fundraiser. It should still be, you know, this is still my content, but hey, we're doing this today.
Like, I wouldn't just like randomly pick up Coral Island just because I'm doing a charity event for somebody whose favorite game is Coral Island.
Right.
Because I don't play that style game. It'd be very jarring for my entire audience to be like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
We signed up for a guy who's bad at shooters and now you're playing a fucking farming sim? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want it to feel like disingenuine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, grassroots. I would say grassroots would be the exception for sure. Like the small grassroots charities.
Oh,
Those
that's
are
a good
good.
one. Have you ever attended a Pride event? And if so, what was your favorite part? The food, the people, the atmosphere, the events that were going on?
Like in person?
Yes, like in person. I think that's an in-person thing.
I haven't gone to an in-person Pride since way before COVID. I don't remember the last one. Now with, you know, living in a active pandemic, people don't mask enough for me to feel safe going, so I wouldn't be going anyways. But I think the last one I went to was maybe, I don't even know, 8-10 years ago. I haven't gone in a long time. It's also sensory overload for me to go to events with a lot of people. But I remember really loving the drag show. That was probably my favorite part.
The last one I went to was 2019, the one right before the start of the pandemic. And I'll say it. I live near Cincinnati, and it's one of the biggest Pride celebrations in the Midwest. Just because Cincinnati is one of the only progressive cities in the Midwest, if I'm being honest.
Oh my god, Midwest! So many Midwesterns.
But the atmosphere and just the camaraderie of all the people that were there, and they hold it on the riverbank, so it's like there's a lot of wide spread out space there. But it was a lot of fun, and like you, I had a good time at the drag. They did like a drag brunch, and then they drag lunch as well. Those were really, really fun to get to experience. It was my first time seeing a drag show, actually, was at that Pride event that I can remember. I did go to a drag show the night that I turned 21, but it was the night that I turned 21, so Lord knows I have no idea what happened that night.
Yeah. Such is the rite of passage for turning 21, truly.
As is the way of life at your 21st birthday. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to get to experience drag like that up and close. Like,
yes, same. That was my favorite part too.
I had only ever seen drag through like, you know, TV shows or there was a drag show at a convention that I went to every year for 10 years, but I never really got to experience it, like, because it was always filled up before I could even get into the doors to see it. So I would watch from outside. But it was completely different being able to like be up against the queens and see them walking around and experience their dancing and like actually get to tip a queen, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a phenomenal experience for sure.
But no, I completely agree. The fact that people still aren't admitting that we're still in an active pandemic, I won't be going back to a Pride event for a very long time.
Yeah.
At least another 4 or 5 years.
It's really unfortunate because we shouldn't have to feel like we can't go because we won't be, you know, safe. But alas. That's why I'm also so glad for Twitch and having been able to set up so many of these collabs and be able to hang out in other events that people are putting on as well. It definitely helps it feel less isolating and lonely to have like an online community.
Oh, for sure. Twitch has done so much for me during the pandemic to make me... I'm a very social person. I don't like not talking to people. I've worked in bars for 10 years. From the time I was 15 till the time I was 25, I worked in bars. And so I'm a very social person. I like the aspect of talking to people, being around people. So that when the pandemic hit and my bar closed, I kind of went inward for a very long time. and
Mm-hmm.
didn't really like. I took a break from content because I just wasn't, in the right headspace because I wasn't around people enough. And then somebody was like, "Well, Twitch is really blowing up now because of the pandemic. You should probably try it again and see what you find that the platform is like now. Now that there's, a lot more smaller streamers and a lot more people on the platform." And then now I'm doing stuff like this. Like earlier pandemic me would never have done a panel like this or a talk like this because I would have been too scared. I would have been too afraid of the daunting task of having to just talk, but feel like I was just talking to myself
Mm-hmm.
or talking to like one person instead of talking to a whole group. But now it's
Yeah.
like I understand more how chat works and how it's more than just two people talking. It's two people talking and the internet basically interacting at the
Yeah.
same time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like 3 years ago when I started, there's no way I would do something like this because it is so far out of my comfort zone.
How do you see the landscape of LGBT representation on Twitch evolving in the coming years, even with the downfall of other social medias?
Hmm. How do I see it evolving? I don't know, because it's hard to try and predict something like that, I guess. Or like expect what it would be like.
Yeah, I think it's headed in the right direction, but I worry with other social media not being there for us to reach out with each other on that we
Mm-hmm.
might see it start to backslide a little bit back into the queer people staying in their own bubbles of queerness and not, expanding into other realms because when I first started on Twitch, it was very much like a big click, and it still is really clicky. Don't get me wrong, but it
Yeah.
was very like you stayed within your circle of 5 friends and you didn't branch out because you didn't know what other people were like. There was no other way to see what other people were like
Mm-hmm.
and find other content that you could watch other than just going to watch that person's content. And if you didn't want to expose yourself to something bad, then you just lived in fear of other people's content your entire life. And social media has definitely happened and made it easier to find other relatable content creators.
Right. Absolutely. I feel like I know that, Twitter, if it does like 100% end up going down the drain and just not working anymore, I'm sure that I would like to be hopeful that we could all find like another platform or other platforms to congregate to successfully to keep that same type of energy and be able to still find that discoverability that we have on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be hopeful. Fingers crossed.
One can dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a good one for you. What's your
Sure.
favorite piece of queer media?
Oh, ooh. Favorite piece?
Across all platforms and across all types of media. Just anything.
That's such a good question. I don't know if I can narrow it down to a favorite one.
Okay, top 5.
Top 5? Okay. Do you know yours? Because I need a
No,
minute.
I
Okay.
absolutely don't know mine.
Okay.
Don't feel bad.
We'll
I
have a
definitely don't
think.
know mine either.
Think about it then. So I'm like trying to think of all. I mean, there's so many options.
I know.
Hmm. I'm gonna think about it.
Surprisingly enough, I'd put Baldur's Gate up there.
Thank you for saying my hair looks cute. You're cute. Hi, Aloe. I hope you're doing well. Hi, hi. Thank you for the hair compliments. I appreciate you. I dyed it myself. I'm pretty proud of it. I have not played Baldur's Gate, but it looks very queer.
It is. You can date whoever you want. You can. They don't really have a pronouns option, but you can have whatever voice mod you want with whatever body type. It's and then there's Neil Noborn themselves just as a person in the game, but Danny made a good point. Bottoms is a good one. The new movie that just
I
came out.
haven't seen Bottoms yet. I need to. I feel like I'm failing as a queer person because I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen all of it. I've seen bits and pieces of it passing through on my TikTok, which feels scummy to watch movies on TikTok like that, but
Right.
I need to watch the whole thing just based off of the bits that I've seen people like posting about and being like, was a great scene in Bottoms. You need to go watch it.
Yeah, I've seen like little snippets. So I'm like, God, I really need to watch it so bad. It's on my list. I would. Okay, one of mine I feel like is, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but the web series Carmilla.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. That was my entire life when I was in college.
Literally my whole life.
I lived for that web series.
It's so good. It's so good. Definitely one of my favorite queer pieces of media. It's so good. And it's so like the low budgetness of it is so
it's
iconic.
So camp. It's great.
It's so camp. I love it so much.
In that same vine, what's it called? Hold on, now I have to Google it. Give me a second. There's another web series that was really queer that I absolutely adored.
Okay. I'm still trying to think of my other ones that I deem worthy enough. Hi, C. I hope you got some good rest.
The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo. That's what it is.
I've never seen that.
You should watch it. It's absolutely queer. It's absolutely hilarious. It's another like low budget web series.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was directed, written, and produced by the same guy. It's him and all of his friends. They all live in LA together. Like it's the journey. It's basically a self memoir about his journey being queer in LA.
Oh, okay. What's it called again?
But it's such a good one. It's called The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo.
Okay, I'm writing it down on my list.
It's Caleb and then Gallo.
Okay. Thank you. I will add that to my list and I will look it up. I love campy stuff.
Cute. Yeah, it's super cute, super camp. It's just another one that's like a good feel-good show.
Mm-hmm.
South of Nowhere. I've never seen that one. Were you a South of Nowhere kid? I've never seen that one.
No.
That might be before my time.
I want to say Buffy. I want to say
yes,
Buffy,
please.
because it was the first instance of a queer character in like TV that I'd seen with Willow and Tara. So I would say, and it's so queer coded as well. And Sarah Michelle Gellar just became a fucking queer icon because of that show. Regardless of the fact that Buffy wasn't necessarily queer, but there's some other good ones. There's some other good ones. Recently, I really liked, which unfortunately got canceled, of course, but I really liked the lesbian vampire show on Netflix that got canceled.
I know vaguely what you're talking about,
I can't
but I
remember the name of it. Hold
never
on, let me look
watched
at it.
it.
I'm gonna look see what the name was. It was like First Bite or First something. First Kill, maybe? Hold on. Yeah, First Kill. It was
I'd heard of
it's
that one.
very campy as well. And it was so good. I'm so sad that it got canceled.
I feel like a lot of the best queer media is all camp because that's what we know we like, you know?
Yeah. Literally, Soju, we need the bad campy stuff. It was so good, right? Hello? It's so good. Like, yeah, maybe it wasn't like phenomenal, but it was good and needed, and we need more of it. And I hate Netflix every day. Truly. Stop canceling my shows. I get into one show and they cancel it.
I was just told that Star Trek has the longest same-sex kiss in TV history.
Whoa! Let's go, Trekkies.
Good for you, Trekkies. Pop
yeah,
off.
hell yeah, Trekkies. I was never a Trekkie, but I respect Star Trek very much.
Same. I was a Star Wars kid. I grew up a Star Wars kid. My dad was a Star Wars guy. So I'm very much a Star Wars kid, but like
I was as well.
everything that I ever heard about Star Trek was them being like super ahead of their time with what they were doing.
So ahead of the time, truly. Yeah, I respect Star Trek a lot. It was never my thing, but I respect it.
For sure.
I also really love Degrassi.
Stop, because we were just talking about Degrassi in
Were
my
you?
chat.
I love Degrassi. I don't care how old I get. I will always rewatch it because, yeah, sure, maybe it's pretty cringe, but like I love cringe. Cringe is freedom. I love
great.
Degrassi. Degrassi is iconic. Honestly, for all of the like cringe that it handles hard topics so well actually for that like age demographic of like the teenagers, which is what it's geared towards. It handles some really hard subjects and it has a lot of good representation in it. A lot of good situations about like, especially like, so we're talking about mostly queer and stuff. So many different queer experiences in the show, like coming out and your parents are, you know, bigoted, or staying in the closet because your parents are bigoted and then you're taking it out on other people, and like that being like a storyline. Also like having a crush on a girl and realizing that you're bi and coming to terms with that. And there's trans characters on the show. There was on the Next Class, the ones that were on Netflix, there was a non-binary character who came to terms with their identity, and that was like really well done as well because we have so few non-binary representations in media, especially something like so well known as Degrassi, because Degrassi's been around since the 80s. So
is it really? I thought that was like a mid 90s, early 2000s thing.
It was the 80s with Degrassi High, because there was Degrassi Middle School and Degrassi High, and I do believe those were in the 80s. And then the Degrassi that we all know, which is the next generation, that started in like the 2000s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Riverdale. I never got into Riverdale either, but I know that a lot of queer people like Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale wasn't one that I watched purely because it came out on cable TV at a time where I didn't have cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, who still has cable? But
you're paying out the ass if you do. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure. Like I just moved to a new place and they tried to sell us on a cable package and I'm just like, no, it's $80 for what I could be paying 40 for across 3 other networks. Why would I do that? No, thank you.
Yeah, no way. Grey's Anatomy is another one in chat.
Great. So Grey's to me is another one of those ones that's doing the bare minimum but making it look like they're doing the most. As someone who's watched all 21 seasons of Grey's Anatomy,
God, are there really that many? Holy smokes.
it's still going. Like they're starting season
Holy.
21 next year.
Wow.
Season 20 just wrapped. But they're another show that I feel like is doing the bare minimum but acting like they're doing the most. Especially because they haven't had a queer character up until more recently. Like with Amelia, and I think Maggie is the other queer one right now.
I see.
But it's definitely giving, we're trying to be queer inclusive, but we also don't want to lose our standing in the ratings as being one of the best soap opera drama things on TV right now.
C is saying that it's the first time that he ever saw an intersex character in TV was Grey's. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I was never into Grey's, so I can't vouch for it or anything, but that's really great that they had an intersex character, because you really don't see a lot of intersex characters. There is a show. A queer show. Well, I don't know if I would necessarily... It's queer, campy. It has an intersex character in it. It was on MTV, I think. I'm gonna look it up.
That's wild to hear just to begin with. That it was
yeah,
on
MTV, I know. I think it was MTV. Maybe I'm thinking wrong.
I made a face when you said MTV. I was like, hello? MTV?
MTV? It was called Faking It.
It was called Faking It. I remember hearing about that show. Vaguely. I vaguely recognize that show.
Yeah, I used to watch it weekly. I really loved it. It was very campy, very queer, and it does have an intersex character in it, which I think is the first time I ever saw an intersex character in a show. Especially like something on like MTV of all things, you know?
I feel like queer media as a whole is just really
you remember that?
And that
I loved Faking It.
In the space of that, we're getting more of it now, and it's getting better.
The first to third season as a one-off episode. Oh, I see.
But I just remembered Grey's Anatomy had a gay
you're almost up to date in Grey's. Holy
in the first like 8 seasons, who were together for like another 5 seasons.
Wow.
But the trauma that they put that couple through.
Of course.
Like one of them got in a plane crash, the other ended up cheating. It's like a whole huge thing. Like the amount of trauma they put that gay couple through, I was just like, why did you feel the need to do this to them? Like they could have just been a happy gay couple.
Did they put the gay couple through more than they did the straight couples? Because that's a thing I have beef with all the time.
Equally. It was equally stressful on every relation. It's equally stressful on every relationship in that show. Like everybody's relationships are always super on edge. Like it's always, we don't know who's gonna last and who's gonna be not there, and is somebody gonna die next episode? Like it's always everybody's relationships
like soap opera-y.
It's super soap opera-y. Like they're definitely a soap opera without being labeled a soap opera.
Okay. I have less beef then. There are a lot of issues I have with like it seeming like queer characters tend to have to go through a lot more shit than non-queer characters.
Yeah. No, but in Grey's Anatomy, it's everybody's relationships are fucked. You can get fucked, you can get fucked. Everybody's screwed. Nobody's relationship is safe in Grey's Anatomy. If you start to like a couple, guarantee that couple's gonna have trauma.
That's so rough. I do love drama though.
Everybody
love dramas.
loves a little bit of drama.
I love drama. I loved The Fosters.
I never got into that one.
Freeform? Or well, what was it before Freeform?
ABC Family.
ABC Family, like yeah. I loved that
I
one
watched
too.
the first couple episodes of it, and it got too dramatic for me at a point where I was
That's
just
fair.
like, meh.
It's pretty dramatic. I just rewatched it. It's pretty dramatic. But I like it. I find comfort in like older media. because I mean, of course, a lot of them are very dated. They have a lot of like jokes that are not great and stuff like that, but I really loved like the shows that came out when I was in like middle and high school. They're very nostalgic to me. Very like safe shows to watch because I already know what's going to happen, and being neurodivergent, I really like rewatching shows because I still want to watch something, but I don't always have the capacity to like watch something new.
Agreed. No, agreed. Completely. Like I'm rewatching Criminal Minds for like the 5th time because I was like, I need a show that I can watch that's gonna last a while, but I also don't want to start a new show. So, whoop, Criminal Minds it is.
I love Criminal Minds.
It's my partner's first time watching it too. So like
Ooh.
I get to experience her living through some of the like we just finished the Frank episode.
Oh.
The first time you meet Frank.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We just watched that one with dinner yesterday, and
Wow.
I got to experience her getting to see Jane and everything like that.
Wow. Oh, to experience shows for the first time again. Sometimes I wish I could just wipe my memory so I could just experience things for the first time again.
Yeah, for sure. Like How I Met Your Mother. I wish I could wipe my experience of How I Met Your Mother and start that over again. Maybe keep the wherewithal to know that I should skip the ending of the show, but like wipe everything else.
Yeah. For sure. Oh my god, I want to say one more thing about Jesus. Them changing the actor. I'm sorry. But them going from Jake T. Austin to Noah Centineo, such a jump. They look nothing alike. And I know they had to like replace the actor, but it's so jarring. Especially if you watch it now when it's all out. And you don't have to like wait weeks or months or whatever between whenever Jake T. Austin's last episode was and then Noah's first one was. It's just suddenly a completely different actor for a very main character. Is wild. Also, sorry for all the yawns. And thank you all for hanging out. If you have any questions for us about like queer trans things of any variety, feel free to ask also. And if you would also like to watch both streams at once, we have a multi-stream link, and I will throw out the information again for Mickey. Why am I so yawny? Why am I so yawny? I'm not even tired. Brain need oxygen. Oh, let's not talk about Glee. See? Remember Glee, one of the ones your mom watched, and then I saw my first queer kiss? Oh, that you fully remember? Listen, Glee is awful, but it's also so good. It's so awful that, you know, sometimes it's really good. I can't lie. Especially a lot of the music. I'm just gonna say it. A lot of the Glee covers slap. They're really good. To this day, I still listen to a lot of the covers over the originals. A Glee hater as a choir kid? That's so funny because I was a choir kid and I am a Glee. I wouldn't say I'm a lover, but I'm a mild enjoyer. I was also a choir kid. Hardcore. 13 years. In high school, I was in 4 choirs a year. I was in an a cappella jazz concert. Some other one I can't remember. Yeah, some of the covers slap. I'm just gonna say it. Artists forgot that they need to be afraid of Darren Criss covering their songs. I'm just gonna say. All the artists out there should fear that one day he will cover their song and it will be better than the original. You're not, yeah, I'm not a gleek. I'm like a mild enjoyer. The show is so problematic. It's very dated. So dated. Also, we hate Leah Michelle. Miss I Can't Read. But you know, it was also like a rite of passage to watch as a queer person. Back in the, what was it, the 2000s, whenever it came out. I think I was in like high school. Ugh, I hate that woman too. So much. $2009? Holy shit. Excuse me.
Okay, so tell me about this fishing minigame thing that everybody's got on their streams now.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked. It's called Lurkbait Twitch Fishing. It is, how much is it? It's like $7 or something, US dollars. And honestly, it literally pays for itself. I've had it running for 167.6 hours is what Steam says.
Damn.
And it runs in the background and people can fish. You can set the like time limit, but I have it to where everybody can fish like every 60 seconds. And it's just like a really cute thing to do. Especially you know, it's called lurk bait to get people like talking in chat. So it is nice to have like a way that chat can engage with something while you're, you know, doing whatever you're doing. And they can have little fishing in the side, and it has a little cute animated circle thing that pops up so it looks like you're really throwing out a line. And you can add things that you want in it. Like you can add custom catches. Like I have my cat in there. I have a like Gengar from Pokemon in there. I have a bunch of pride flags in there. You know, I have a piss garden in there.
What
you can put whatever you want. So, you know Power Wash Simulator? You know Power Wash Simulator?
Where
you power wash things? Okay, there's a nozzle on there that's like piss yellow, okay? And one time I was playing and I was like cleaning up a garden area or something, and one of my chatters was like, "It looks like you're like pissing on the garden." So that's how we got piss garden. Now there's an emote.
Amazing.
Here,
truly.
I'll put it in your chat so you can see it. Hold on.
Oh, please do.
My lovely bestie Meg made an emote for it because she likes doing like cursed art. This is my piss garden.
I absolutely
it's
adore
iconic.
That.
I love it.
Truly iconic. I'm here for it.
But yeah, I recommend the Twitch fishing thing. I think it's great. It's pretty
Currently
pretty
$7
affordable.
even.
Yeah, it's pretty affordable, I would say.
I've just seen everybody like have it, and I'm like, what is this? Like, so it's like stream avatars that just like runs in the background essentially.
Yeah, it just runs in the background. It doesn't take up a lot of resources. It closes when it's not being used, so it's like resource light pretty much.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it when I get my new PC because I don't want to put anything else on this old one because I'm getting ready to wipe it in like a week.
Oh, fair. Awesome. I love that you're getting a new one. Congrats.
I have worked this PC into the ground. We call it the workhorse because it's on damn near 24/7 and is running like my disk. It runs everything. It runs my life. This computer is my life.
Felt that.
But I'm getting ready to get a new one. So I'm like, I'm trying not to put too much else on this one because I've got people who are like recommending different OBS filters and things like that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to write this down because Lord knows I'm not gonna remember it, but I'm not gonna add it to my stuff now.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
All right, somebody from my chat just bought me the game, so.
Oh, let's go. Thank you, whoever that was. Heck yeah. It's the best money you're ever gonna spend, I promise.
It's downloading. We'll see how it works.
Hehe. It's great. It's great. It's super easy to set up too.
Oh, bet.
Yes, please talk to me about the Fosters, see. In the realm of the Fosters, I'm watching Good Trouble right now. The continuation with Callie and Mariana. I'm finally at the episodes I haven't seen yet. I had to rewatch the first 2 seasons and now I'm watching season 3. Always trust the Fish Lord. True. I'm the Fish Lord. Secret Life of American Teenager. Oh my god, that show was so messy. It's so messy and so bad, but why did I watch every single episode? Why did I watch every single episode? It was so messy. It was so bad. But I watched the whole damn thing. Every week, I would watch another episode because I watched it when it was airing. That and, what the- oh my god, Make It or Break It! Listen, Make It or Break It was my shit. I loved Make It or Break It. Yeah, I watched all those. Pretty Little Liars, too. I watched Pretty Little Liars every week I watched. Yeah. Man, prime time TV time back in the day when I actually used to watch things week to week. My friends and I used to refer to it as slat, and it was so bad. It was so bad. Slat is great. I'm gonna call it slat from now on. I'm gonna co-op that. No, it's Secret Life of the American Teenager is horrible. It's a horrible show. But I still watched every episode because I just had to know what happened. I had to know what happened. No matter how bad the writing was, no matter how bad the acting was, I had to know what happened next week. So it really did its job. It had me watching every week. Make It or Break It was every week. I was a dance kid and I drank that shit up. Oh, it was so good. So good. I've always been obsessed with gymnastics and figure skating. So I will watch the shit out of any gymnastics movie, any gymnastics show, and figure skating too. Like the show on Netflix that got canceled after a season that had figure skating in it. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I loved that show too, and it got fucking canceled. Every time I love a show, Netflix cancels it. And you Stick It. Oh, I loved Stick It. I loved Stick It. Stick It was so good. I'm a sucker for like I said, any gymnastics or figure skating movies or anything. Even if they're cheesy, I will still watch the shit out of that. I loved Stick It. I feel like there was like an era, I think it was around when Make It or Break It was airing. There's like an era where there were so many like gymnastics movies coming out, or like femme sport movies. And I was here for it. Stick It. Oh, Bring It On. I love Bring It On. Hell yeah. Love Bring It On. I loved the first like 3 Bring It Ons, and then I think I stopped liking them so much. But definitely I liked Bring It On 1, 2. And then the one with Hayden Panettiere. I liked that one. Bring It On was your gay awakening. Honestly, real. Eliza Dushku. Oh my god. What a woman. Truly. Eliza Dushku. Oh. And then she was on Buffy as Faith, and oh my god. If they would have just made Buffy and Faith a couple, Buffy would have just... It was already like... It's already forever one of my favorite shows. But it just would have been that much more elevated if they would have just been brave and made Buffy and Faith endgame. Ate every piece of media. Me too. Oh my god, do you remember the show she was in? The one where she could like rewind the days or whatever. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Dollhouse. I love Dollhouse too. Why can't I remember? True Calling. Yes, thank you. True Calling. Oh my god. True Calling's my fave. It's so good. I don't think that I love it any less because I couldn't remember the name of it. That's just my autistic brain. Oh, True Calling's so good. Dollhouse too. Dollhouse is amazing. Absolutely. Also, I'm keeping an eye. Make sure I'm not missing anything over there. I think Mickey's doing like a poll of what they're gonna play after our chats. You hate good that era. It was such a good era, truly. Oh, phenomenal. Such a good show. I'm actually bummed it got rushed to end. Yeah, I hate that. True Calling did too, if you remember. It got canceled like halfway through their filming of like the 3rd season or 4th season. I think it was 3. Because I think there are 2 full seasons and then like a half season basically, where they had to rush everything. I'm so bummed about that. In the same like era of TV, did any of you watch Alias? Any of y'all watch Alias with Jennifer Garner? I loved Alias. It had a good ending despite it being rushed. That's true. It did. It did. Joss Whedon era TV is such an interesting time. He was progressive for the time, and going back to watch is always rough. Yeah. Definitely agree. Fuck Joss Whedon though. Man, I ain't watched these.
Right,
What a
chat's done writing. I got the fish thing to work.
Hell yeah, let's go. Fishing. Yeah, I love this for you. Didn't see it, but looked interesting. It's pretty good. Wait, we're talking about Alias, right? Yeah, Alias. Pretty good. Got another fisher in
All right, well, I won't hold you
chat.
hostage for much longer. But thank you for hosting this talk.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. It was so nice to chat, and thank you for your chat and all the questions they had. Y'all had some great questions.
They're good kids. I love them. They're good people.
They are, they are. Do you have anything you would like to promote before we part ways or anything like that? Anything else you're doing this month or in general?
No, not really. Just come follow me on all my socials. It's a good time, I promise. I'm not always a weirdo.
We like weirdos, it's okay.
It's just a good time. Like I've got my kids trying to go over there and follow you now. But yeah, thank you for having me on tonight. It's been a great time.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, y'all please make sure that you go follow Mickey. I'm glad that you enjoyed the queer media chats. Me too. I love talking about media in all its forms, especially queer. Thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome in, welcome in. I see your chat is just fishing now. I love this for you.
It's all just fishing. It's just fishing now. I've lost control.
You're
it's just
welcome.
Fishing.
That's my gift to you. Happy Pride.
Thank you.
All right, I will let you go so you can get. Are you playing a game after this?
Yeah, we're gonna play some Final Fantasy 14. That's what
the brain
voted on
rot.
for tonight.
All right, have fun with that. I love 14.
I absolutely adore it. I got into it about 2 years ago, and it's been such a fun game.
Yeah. I love it. All right, thank you so much for hanging out today. Appreciate you for joining and hanging out.
Yeah, of course. It was a good time.
Yeah. All right, I will catch you
I will see
later.
you- Yeah, see you around.
Hello, chat. You're back to just me now. I know you're so sad about it. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad that it was a great time. I had a great time. I love chit-chatting and yapping, you know? Hello, Peachy. Why you screaming? Aw, see, I love you too. Thank you for paying your taxes. What is this? Are y'all on at me? All right. Oh shit. My ad's about to play, so I can't even do it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna run ads. They're gonna run. They're gonna run. I can't do anything about it. I don't know why you're saying give me ads because you can't even see them. You have a sub. Give me ads. You're literally subscribed. Gonna open the stream on a not logged in window. That's so funny, actually. In a not logged in window, just so you have ads. That's so funny. Welcome back. Oh, none of them were interesting. I'm sorry you didn't have any interesting ads. There's still like 2 minutes left for potential adders, so. You're addicting to fishing? Isn't it so fun? It's literally, oh, you probably can't even hear me. It's so fun. It's the best. I hope that's the VHS Care Bear tape I lost. Please, that's so funny. That's so funny. The lights against the flags behind. Oh, yeah. Aren't they cute? They're actually blue lights, but they look white, I think, on the screen. They're actually kind of blue. Could talk about Care Bears all damn day. The special color tapes equals the youth won't understand. The youth won't understand. Nice backlight to the shork. Yeah, the shork mouth going home. Home. True. Or the Nickelodeon, yes, the orange tapes. The Nickelodeon orange tapes. Oh my god. Talk about nostalgia. It's the millennial brain. We all have that millennial brain going on. The orange tapes. Incredible. Yeah, they were kind of textured too. Very true, very true. They were your whole childhood. I know. Same. Same. I love all that millennial era shit. The era of plastic, the oh, we need to bring back the see-through era. We need to bring that shit back. Because I want the see-through shit back. I want the see-through. I want a see-through PC. I want a see-through Switch. I want a see-through consoles. I want everything to be that see-through. Yes, I love seeing the chips inside. Same. I want see-through back. Can we get it back, please? Found out the liquid in the cool sea ocean themed mouses and things were oil and not water. That's fucked up. There are see-through PCs. Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean. Are there those that look like that same vibe? But that's why they didn't go moldy. That's true. If I get a Steam Deck, I'm getting a see-through cover to replace the standard one. Ooh, oh my god, that sounds amazing. Hi, Wolves. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for daily fusion taxes. Oh my god. That sounds amazing. All right. They were oil. Fuck. The OLED Steam Deck with a limited edition color case could not justify thousands of dollars. Yeah, no, that's fair. What am I dragging? Oh, I accidentally grabbed my captions. That's my bad. I would love to get a Steam Deck someday. They're so expensive though. Because I would love to be able to play all my games in bed or on the couch. Especially when I'm having like bad pain days and I still want to be able to play my games. I would love to have a way to do that. My Switch is great, but it doesn't have all my games, you know? Crave. Alright. What, 2 hours? I know it's very short, but we did do 2 streams today. So I do think we will wrap up. Considering I'm gonna be live pretty much every day this month. I should probably not push it. For bed snuggles and gaming, that's what I'm saying. Don't make me walk all the way back there. Thank you. That's very cute. Please don't. Please rest. Also, see, I hope that you're settling in well. I hope you're settling in well. I hope you and Mick are doing good. And the kitties. Rest your booty. Yes, I'm gonna go rest. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream is at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is more our regular stream time. It's an hour early. Well, it's what my usual stream time used to be until I changed it to an hour later. But tomorrow at 11 a.m. we'll be live again with Maury. We'll be live with Maury Faye tomorrow for some just chatting. I think. I'm not sure if we'll play a game. Just chatting, but just one stream tomorrow. Just one stream tomorrow. One stream Tuesday. I think 2 Wednesday. I don't remember what my schedule is. Yeah, 2 Wednesday, 2 Friday. I will actually be off on Thursday, which is great because I have a whole ass book to read for my book talking collab thingy with Bella on the 14th. So I will have that whole day to read the book that I was supposed to have read and I did not read because I have not wanted to read a book in months. But you know, it is what it is. We're reading Cemetery Boys. I'll actually, hold on, let me show you. I don't know if anybody's seen it. We're reading Cemetery Boys. It's by Aiden Thomas, who is a trans author. And the main character is trans. One of the main characters is trans. And Latin. It's a, I think all the characters are Latin. Yeah. Because Aiden is a Latin trans man. Queer trans. But yeah. We'll be talking about this on Bella's channel on the 14th. I will not be streaming it because I have a collab that night anyways, so I'm not going to be streaming twice if I can help it. And I want it to be mostly, it's Bella's thing, so I don't want to take away from Bella's stream. But that will be on the 14th. So that's still a bit away. But we'll be live tomorrow around 11 with Maury Faye. And I have down that we're just chatting, so I don't know if that's changed or not, but we shall see. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone that hung out in both streams. We had a stream earlier with Bella where we did a puzzle together and we played Fortnite. and chatted about things. And thank you all for hanging out for this stream as well. Appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you. Also, I will be doing something with C later in the month as well. C is one of the collaborators this month. Also, on the 25th. He's gonna carry me in DBD because I suck at DBD. Yeah, carry me. All right. We're gonna wrap up. Gonna carry you. Yes, thank you all so much for hanging out. Okay. Silly games and watch me attempt to friend and seduce the killer. Oh, okay. I'll flirt with the killer with you if you want. We can flirt with the killers together. Maybe they'll get so like flustered that they just won't murder us. That could be the vibe. All right, we're gonna go and raid Mickey since they were a very lovely collaborator today. They're playing some Final Fantasy. Yeah, everybody please have a good rest of your time zone. Everybody be sure to rest and hydrate and take care of yourselves. I'll see y'all in the morning. 11 a.m. Eastern. What's that converted? 11, 10, 9, 8 Pacific. 10 Central. Trying to convert it in my brain and I can't anymore. Anyway. I'll see you when I see you. Delusional. It's only day 2 and I already feel tired. But it's fine. I'm gonna do great. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Surely. Okay. I will see you tomorrow. Or the next time that I see you. Everybody please take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Have a rest of your time zone. All the good things. I will see you later. Okay, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
They're here to help us. We should fight too. World full of lies. Did you think you could rise against us? Don't you know?